this video, we're going to continue topic 6.1 and 6.2, and we're going to look at example 6. We're still doing MRAM because that's the section that we're in, so it still says that we are doing midpoint. So I'm going to start by drawing it. It looks like I get 4 subintervals, so I'm going to, because I'm ending at 4 here, so I'm going to go up from the middle, which would be at like 0.5, to the graph, which I'm going to go over and down, and then I'm going to go at 1.5. I'm going to kind of line it up in the middle, go a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right and down. Then at 2.5, I'm going to go up. I'm going to go a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right. And again, I should be drawing 4 rectangles. Then I've got 3.5, and I'm going to go up until I hit the function, a little to the left, a little to the right, and there are my 4 rectangles. So now I am going to try to actually do the calculations of those with this function. So I'm going to draw a table. I'm going to draw it a little bit differently than I did on the last one. So because my distance in between didn't quite make sense on that last one. So we're going to start at 0, and then we're going to go to 1. And notice I'm leaving some extra space in there, 2, 3, and then we end at 4. So basically I drew my interval in there. And now I'm going to put my halfway points in here. So 0.5. 1.5, 2.5, that's 2.5, and then 3.5. So what I'm going to do is I am only going to calculate values for these midpoints, not for anything else. So I'm going to take the 0.5 and I'm going to put it into this function. When I put the 0.5 into that function, I get 3.25. And obviously you may use your calculator to do these calculations. That's fine. I'm going to put the 1.5 in my calculator and I'd get 5.25. I'm going to put the 2.5 into my calculator. I'm going to get 9.25. That says 25. And then I'm going to put the 3.5 in and I'm going to get 15.25. So now I'm going to set up my MRAM. I know I need 4 subintervals, so I make space for that. And then I'm going to use this height. Let me use a different color. This height, and then this distance in between is technically what we're looking at, the distance between 0 and 1. So 3.25 times 1. I'm going to use this height and this distance in between, so 5.25 times 1. This height and this distance in between, which is 9.25 times 1. This height and this distance in between, which is 15.25 times 1. Again, I hit all the buttons on my calculator, I add that up, and I end up with 33. And again, your distance in between on these simple examples is just 1. On Delta Math, it might be 1.5 or it might be 2. So you got to watch for that distance in between to change. It won't always be 1, and it won't always be consistent either. We'll see that in a little while. All right, let's do one more here in this video. Let's look at example 7. Again, I'm going to hit the middle. So I'm going to go up to the middle. Go a little to the left, a little to the right. It looks like this time I need to draw 4. So I'm going to go from, and this was it be at what, 0.5? This would be 1.5. So I'm going to go up from the middle, a little to the left, a little to the right. At 2.5, go up until I hit the function, a little to the left, a little to the right. Okay, and then at 3.5, I'm going to go up until I hit the function, a little to the left, a little to the right. And there we go. So there's my 4 rectangles. I'm going to calculate the heights. Again, I'm going to draw my table that has a little bit of extra in it, so I know I'm starting at 0. Got to go to 1, got to go to 2, got to go to 3, and then got to go to 4. So I'm going to fill in the values in between, which would be 0.5, 1.5, 2.5, and 3.5. And we're going to calculate those heights into this function right here. And again, I used my calculator. So when I put 0.5 in, I got 15.75. When I put 1.5 in, I got 13.75. When I put 2.5 in, I got 9.75. And when I put 3.5 in, I got 3.75. So now we're going to go ahead and set up our MRAM. And I need 4 subintervals, so I draw 3 plus signs. I always draw 1 less plus sign than subintervals. All right, here we go. So I'm going to use this height, which is 15.75, and then this distance in between, which is 1. This height, this distance, so 13.75 times 1. This height, this distance, so 9.75 times 1. This height, this distance, so 3.75 times 1. I multiply it all out, I add it up, and I end up with 43.